Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, I get a cold steel in a trade that, oh my God, I've been waiting decades for this. I've said that a lot recently, but I'm going back over well-trodden paths and picking up stuff I wasn't able to back in the past. I got a new Smatchet. I got a Smatchet finally. And also, what's the best American knife company? I'm just asking you. You know I love Cold Steel. That is an American knife company. So we can talk about that, or we could talk about, originally I was going to say, who does it better, Benchmade or Spyderco? I was thinking more about companies that make knives here, but then I realized both of them, well, definitely Spyderco does some stuff overseas. So basically I widened it out. What is your favorite American knife company and why? I want to find that out because curious minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm very excited. I have a couple of new knives tonight, and then I've gotten a couple of new knives over the past few weeks that just have me really excited. One of which, three of which I had on me today. Actually, four of which, basically. Dead Viking Trolls. Nice to have you here, Dead Vikings. It's TKL or DeMarco, depending on what you're trying to get. Oh my gosh. I couldn't agree with you more. I love the DeMarco brothers and their work, but Tim Kell, you know what I mean? TKL Knives. Marco, nice to have you here, sir. You're second this week. This is like the first week in months that you're not first, but it doesn't matter, Marco. You're here, says Bob DeMarco. So it's good to have you here, sir. TKL Knives, definitely, and DeMarco Knives for sure. And they have their production spread out across the states and in some cases overseas. Have a knife day. Great to have you here, sir. Good evening, Junkalos. Bob, now you've done it. Battle lines are being drawn and the war of fandom has begun. Big companies versus small, etc. Randall and Buck for nostalgia. ProTech, Microtech with collabs. I didn't mean to, but so glad I did. Ligma Balls, nice to have you here, Ligma. Carruthers or Bussy? Oh my gosh, these are two companies that Ligma. These are two companies that I've never had a knife from either, and I've always loved Bussy. I mean, I've loved Bussy for a long time from afar, of course, and then they started showing up on Walking Dead on Daryl's belt, and I was like, oh my God, I recognize that knife, and that was years ago at this point. And so it's been years I've been pining after Bussies, and they do a lot of cool special stuff that you like, one-off stuff that's really cool. But Carruthers, that's something that's been newish to me, and actually only since a sales video I saw of Heavyset Tactical, I think, was selling some knives off, and he had a Carruthers. I was like, ooh. I respect both of those choices, but I have woefully little exposure to either in person, so I'm going to have to change that post haste. Pete Davidson, good to have you here, sir. Good day, blokes. It has to be Spyderco for me. They changed my view on how a knife should perform in the real world. I haven't had a dud yet, and so much variety in steel choice. Champions, not only in steel choice, but in grinds, and also excellent in their heat treats, of course. I've got dry mouth tonight, and not for the good reason, unfortunately. Carino1, nice to have you here, sir. Greetings, fellow junkies. I'm going to have to go with Spyderco, American company with a great history and assortment of products that cover many needs and price ranges. All right, I'm going to do something here. I'm just going to take a tally. I have a feeling Spyderco is going to do well. So I'm going to use my brand new Off-Grid Knives bolt pen to take a little tally. And it's just, I'll start with Spyderco. If I see a preponderance of any other, I will do that too. But for Spyderco, that's 2 so far. All right. Thank you, Carino. By the way, Bob, we have to talk pipe tobacco sometime. That would be nice. So, okay, check this out. My dad in the 70s and 80s used to smoke a pipe maybe like once a month. And but he would do it in his den. He'd stink up the house, and it was great. But he smoked this stuff it was from Turkey, called Balkan Sobrani, and it was really good. And when I was in college, in the late 80s and early 90s, you could buy that at your average local tobacco store. When I started smoking pipes again, like a year ago or so, a year and a half ago, I went to our local tobacconist and asked for it. And the guy was like, oh, you've had that? Oh my gosh. It was like tobacco of myth. I guess that's no longer available. And he was impressed that I knew about it. And I was just like, that's just what my dad smoked. And I smoked it in college, and now you can't get it. But so I get this blend that's evocative of that stuff from the same place. But yeah, I'd love to find out any sort of national thing that you know of, because I like it. I like it. I even sneak and inhale every once in a while, and I know that's you got to be careful about that. No one wants to overdo it. I see we have Dave here, OG Blade Reviews. Great to have you here, Dave, as always. Greetings, blade fancying junkies. Hope Bob doesn't start any knife wars here, as I'll have to be as neutral as Switzerland. But of course, I'm a huge fan of TKL. America, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And actually, I did not say this to start a war for sure. Crewman78, nice to have you here, Crewman. All American TKL knives. You're going to love, Crewman, you're going to love my emotional support knife tonight. We have Strings with us. Great to have you here, sir. He's responsible for one of the great knives I'm going to show you tonight that I've been waiting just for years for. I was about to start singing. I'm not going to. If we're talking companies based in the U.S., I would say Cold Steel for affordable, well-made knives. If we're talking products made in the U.S., I got to go Benchmade, even with the butterfly tax. That's funny. I've not heard that, the butterfly tax. My post was split into two because I accidentally hit send. Who doesn't do that? A lot. All right. Something I forgot to say is we do have a random knife giveaway tonight, an all access giveaway. And by all access, I mean this is not just open to gentlemen junkies. This is open to all y'all. And it's for this beautiful knife sent in to us by Dave, OG Blade Reviews. This is the Kubey KU214. The number doesn't matter. It's just how cool it is. This is a really nice one. This was on the block for adoption, but I have too many knives already. And Jim's tired of hearing me say, I need to sell some. I gotta get rid of some knives. So this one is, it's for one of you out there tonight. All you got to do is put #knife in the comment, and let's see, in the comments, and around 11 o'clock, usually it ends up being about 11:10 or so, we're going to give this away. But I just want to run over some features real quick. It is a beautiful Wharncliffe style blade. It's D2 blade steel, which we know from Peterbilt Knife Guy is an outstandingly robust steel. I don't know if you watch his nail chopping videos, but D2 consistently performs best across a whole bunch of different companies. So if robust steel is what you're into, you will love this. But also, look at that great blade shape and these contoured G10 handles. Sumptuous to the touch, beautiful to the eye, and feels great in hand. Look at that. I like that thumb divot there. And then you have a great thumb ramp here with excellent jimping, which, though it doesn't even stand proud of that G10 handle, really your thumb bites into it, works great. Awesome flipper, great little proprietary pivot. Looks like a photographic something representation. You've got a milled titanium pocket clip, just a classy overall thing. And I'm going to give this away tonight. I'm going to rest this daintily on that K-bar and show you. And there's also a swag pack that I'm going to send along with a coaster, a Knife Junkie coaster. We got a Terzuola patch there, a Vosteed keychain, and then just a crap ton of stickers. I get so many stickers, and I can't help myself when I go to Blade Show. I pick up more stickers, and I don't stick them on anything. I mean, I have a coffee mug and a couple of, these things, hydro flasks, and I put stickers on those, but I'm kind of stickered out, so I need to share the wealth there too. So whoever puts #knife in the comments and gets chosen on the wheel, or well, the virtual wheel that we will spin later, you won't even see it spin, just names flash by. Whoever wins will get these things. So I love this KU214, and I think you will as well. All right. Now, that was a sales pitch and a half, wasn't it? All right, so we got 2 on the Spyderco, and I will keep up with that on my little tally mark. As you saw, I had out this beautiful K-bar. Doug Bold, how you doing, man? Evening, Bob and Jim, he says. Good evening to you, sir. Great to have you. K-bar, this one has the sharpened swedge because it's a 1991 or 90 retread of the original. Whoa, almost dropped it. Of the original design. So it's got the sharpened swedge and the sort of scooped clip. I love this thing. James Hart, evening all. Everyone is sharp and rust free, he says. Yes, indeed, sir. And it's awesome to have you here, James. I just like putting the sharp edge of that swedge in the light. Just looks so cool. Jammin Parker, nice to have you here, sir. Evening. For CNC blade, well, evening to you, sir. For CNC blades, I think Compliance Edge is making highest quality for the price. For traditional stock removal, I'd say Winkler knives. I'm so sorry, guys. Pardon me. Winkler knives, yeah. Is that just straight stock removal? Yeah, I guess it is. I cannot disagree. I cannot argue with that, though I might come up with something different. But yeah, Winkler knives are amazing. And I love the Tomahawk, the Syoc Tomahawk. Timothy Chadwick, nice to have you here, Timothy. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Oh, and Bob, remember, Knives Out, i.e. show the knives. Oh, yes, showing the knives. Yes, oh, now the pressure. But thank you, Knives Out. I will show knives. And as a matter of fact, I will put this one out right now because it's the first one I grabbed. They have about 40 knives on the desk right now, and this is just one of them. This is the Armis Knife and Tool VSK, very sharp knife one with the beautiful ambidextrous pocket sheath. Craig Vincent, nice to have you here, Craig. And thank you for the reminder, by the way, Timothy. Craig Vincent says, Cold Steel, Buck, and the late Ontario. And all the other they all offer value with products that cover every budget range and application of use. Yes, I like all 3 of them, and actually in the order that you listed them, I think. Benedict Odie, nice to have you here, sir. We have the Terzuola merch czar with us, as well as longtime contributor. It's great to have you here, Benedict. Paul Mills, nice to have you here, Paul Mills. Hello, Bob DeMarco. Hello to you, sir. Always a pleasure. Todd Carr, evening, everyone. Evening to you, Todd. How's it going there on the beach? B Shady 22, like it. Hello, Bob. Good evening. Good evening to you, B Shady. Nice to have you here. Sword XXXY says, good day, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. And I say to you, sir, a fine, fine evening, or for you, morning, afternoon. Good to have you here. Split and Slices. Byron, how you doing? Howdy, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Best American Knife Company. So owned by and products made here, or what percent? Okay. No percent required. I mean, if we have to drill down and get specific, we can do that. But like Spyderco has been mentioned a number of times, undeniably one of the absolute best, but they make a lot of their products overseas. So you tell me. In other words, the field is open. Adrian Fighter 35. Always nice to have Adrian with us. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow knife junkies. Been waiting all week again for tonight. Well, thank you, man. It's great. I love it. I love it too. It makes me feel like I host a weekly party. My wife and I like to throw parties, and I like to host. I like to have people over, and that's what this is like to me. Except we're all knife nerds. I don't have to like force the knife conversation here, like I might have to do if we have a party. So, yeah, knives. Oh, sorry. You know what I mean? I mean, people, my friends know who I am at this point, but still, it's nice just to have like-minded individuals at this here party. So thanks for saying so, Adrian. 1931 Leatherworks. Good to have you here, 1931. Hello, everyone, he says. Well, hello to you, sir. I'm hoping you're being productive with the leather this week. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door. Nice to have you here, Angry Tom. Hello, Bob, and all junkies. Well, it's good to have you here, Tom, as well as it's good to have Mike here. Happy Thursday Night Knives, everyone, he says. Check out the awesome interview we have with Mike up on TheKnifeJunkie.com, on YouTube, and everywhere else. We have such a great conversation. He's such a good dude, and he has an admirable operation up there, if that's the right word. Enviable, though I don't want to take it from him and keep it for myself, but you know what I mean. I think it's awesome, and it just seems like if I lived in Anchorage, I'd be hanging out there all the time and probably smoking too many cigars. So good to have you here with us, Mike. Craig says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and J boys and girls. Ooh, I like that, Craig. I like that. I'm going to steal it at some point. Joseph S., good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Joseph. Thanks for joining us here, as always. James says, I'm a buckaroo from way back. Started collecting them back in the mid-'80s. All right. In the spirit of Timothy Show the Knives, oh my gosh, I thought I pulled out. I moved my Buck 110 and my 112 upstairs, and I thought I brought out the 119, but I didn't. So I was going to show it off right there. 1931 Leatherworks says, I'm very high on Tops knives right now. I am just super into tactical bushcraft vibe. What do you think of this? 1931, and it has a beautiful leather sheath. This is the Wild Pig Hunter from Tops Knives. The sheath, I mean, I can't look at that white stitching. It's beautiful. The leather is so nice. Stephen Nunn, nice to have you here, Stephen. He puts the thumbs up. And by the way, press the thumbs up button, the like button, and if you're not, subscribe. Why not? It costs you nothing. All you do is see me in your feed, and I don't overpost, so don't worry about that. That is a problem. I would like to post more often, but sometimes days go by and I'm like, oh, I haven't done anything. Gary Pucot, nice to have you here, Gary. I love too many American knife companies to isolate one, and they keep growing all the time. Amen. Yeah, no doubt. We have this Tops Wild Pig Hunter, of course, made in Idaho. Just a beautiful knife, but actually this is based on a Russian combat knife. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's very stout. Look at it. It doesn't have, let's see, the blade stock is less than, I think it's about 3/8. Wait, no, 5/8 of an inch. No. 3/8 of an inch thick. So it's not quite a 1/4 inch, but it does have this sort of I-beam construction with that swedge and the super thick center. And then you can see the temper line here where it's differentially heat treated. This thing is awesome. I love this knife. This was a birthday gift from my wife one year. And it's got super penetrative powers, but also a great slasher and just an overall awesome knife. So when you mentioned Tops, I had to pull out the one Tops I put out on the table tonight. Adrian Fighter 35 says, I don't have one yet, but TKL seems to be an awesome American knife company, and I look forward to getting one someday. Also, Demko is definitely a brand I want to support. Got to save up for those, though. Yeah, just knowing what your tastes are and what you have, you can get some Demko knives that are made in Taiwan, and they're awesome. They're really good, though they might be on the smaller side for what you like, but still, if you want to support them and you want to have a Demko, you can definitely check that out. Oh, yeah, Jim handily put up this TKL Knives affiliate link. So hang on. Here's what it is. If you buy a TKL knife through TheKnifeJunkie.com/TKL, you save 10% off your purchase with the coupon code Bob DeMarco, all one word, and I get a little cut also, which is great. Everyone wins. He gets a sale, you get 10% off, and I get some nondescript percentage. It's quite hey, I'll take whatever, and I really love it. And I would be selling them, quote unquote, if this weren't happening. I have been for a couple of years. This is a pretty new affiliate program here, but I'm happy to offer it to you. Check it out and get something cool. I have a bunch of cool TKLs on the table. I was carrying this. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong one. I almost pulled out this 001, but I was actually carrying the, where is it? Oh, here it is. The 002 after I got home from work. This was on me for a while, and I used it. We're having some construction done here, or some construction isn't the right word, but we're having some work done on the house, and I opened up a couple of those big packing straps with this. I love this knife. This is the 002, Agent 002. Aries EDC, have a great lot. Have a great live, calling it a day. Aries, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it, man. Have an awesome night and a great weekend. Help with Gadgets says, howdy, folks. Howdy to you, sir. This is a great work knife. And by the way, the pommel on the Agent series isn't just great for capping with the thumb for like tactical purposes and stuff. All last summer, I used this as a hammer at the pool for hammering softer stuff, that not nails and stuff like that, but it was kind of like this hard plastic flooring stuff. And that worked great. So this is an all-around great work knife. I had this on me today. So TKL knives, that's all. That's all I'm getting at. I love them. Gary Bucco, Bob, if you had to nail me down on one, I would probably say tops. Love tops. I have more tops than any other, I think. Very nice. Gary, what's your favorite tops knife? Let me know. Is it the Prather War Bowie? I love that thing. Humble Dog Walker. Good to have you here, Humble Dog Walker. Jim, Bob, massive arm. I like that. I like that. It's good to have you here, Humble. Doug Bowles says, windless knife. Good blades of all varieties. My primitive Bowie is from them. Not expensive, but tough and sharp. Well, they do some OEM stuff for cold steel, and I'm pretty sure that this 1917 Bowie is one of their windless OEM products. If not, then I know I have several others, like the Cinque Dia, I think they make, and they might do the Wild West Bowie. I'm not sure, but this one I'm pretty sure they do, and it's awesome. I really love this knife, not only because it's a great design, and really well designed, but it's got a great build to it. Even this awkward looking handle feels great in hand. Derek Ninehouse, nice to have you here, Derek. Many good knife makers with due respect, certainly. TKL just TKL just does EDC fixed blades, superior quality. They're not all EDC fixed blades. As a matter of fact, I'll show you one that isn't. I guess some people EDC knives of this choice, of this size. I'll show it to you in a minute when I do my pocket check. But yeah, they have three larger models to speak of, and then yeah. So anyway, and actually, where is it? It's over there. They will have a larger fighter at some point when my new design is in production. It's about let's see, 5.5. It's about 11, almost 12 inches in length overall, which is not huge. But Donald Fry, nice to have you here, Donald. Howdy, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Another vote for Spyderco. All right, let me just use my Bolt pen. I love this thing. I dig it. I like the whole Bolt concept for pens. I would like to explore this with other brands, but digging this one. Help with Gadget says, are we talking American production knives or custom? Hey, exactly. So my point is whatever you want, but American. We're talking American tonight. TKL is sort of half custom. You could talk about hogtooth knives, all custom. I love these things. And he has his production line where he has them water jetted out and then does the rest. But he also has his forging stuff, which, by the way, Matt Chase of Hogtooth Knives is forging me something awfully special. Can't wait to show it. It'll be after Blade Show in June. So very excited about that. So whatever you want, as long as it's American. Like some people are saying Spyderco, and they have a lot of stuff made here, but I think even more made overseas. I would count Cold Steel, even though it's all overseas made, it's an American company and with American roots. So that's kind of, we're playing it fast and loose. Jason Cosby, nice to have you here, Jason. Spyderco all day, Bob. All right. All right, that's 4. Derek Ninehouse says, my dad has a World War II Japanese wakizashi sword made in the 1600s. Damn. And razor sharp, needs work. So, okay, let me ask you this, Derek. Made in the 1600s, this is a blade from the 1600s, no doubt, mounted in one of the sort of cast handles. My brother has a bunch of Japanese war swords that have, I don't know, some of the blades on my brother's swords look really nice. And then you get to the handle, and it's like, it looks like a samurai sword, so to speak, with the Tsukamaki wrap and everything. But a lot of them have cast handles, so you get the same look and texture, but it's not lace. It's like bronze, or I'm not sure what it is. I'm curious, is that what you're talking about? Chris229, good to have you here, Chris. Evening, everyone, he says. Evening to you, sir. I do like that avatar. I like this one, too. The TKL hug. Stephen Clayton Jr., good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Stephen. He's got the cup of coffee and the knife. Speaking of coffee, I'm thinking I'm going to start trying out my wife's mushroom coffee. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. I've been very resistant, but I'll give it a try, see what happens. Help with Gadgets says, so I like American Blade Works, Vulcan, yes, absolutely. Vulcan Custom Knives, Jason Clark, RD Blades, amongst others. I know Jason Clark. I'm not sure if I know RD Blades, and I know Vulcan Customs, but I don't know them. I don't know their customs. I know they did production, 3 production knives with tops. Is that right? Am I thinking of the right people? Help with Gadgets, help me out, and I do like your taste. Dwayne Letterman, nice to have you here, Dwayne. Howdy, y'all. Howdy to you, Dwayne. Oh, my gosh. Hang on. See, this is yeah. I made a delicious dinner tonight, but it had a lot of soy sauce in it, and that makes me thirsty. Derek Ninehouse says, I did just get a White River hunting knife. It's razor sharp, magna cut, and flat ground for hunting work. Nice, Derek. I know White River knives, like kind of loosely. I know their one most popular model. I don't know what it's called, but I can conjure it up in my mind, and I think it's kind of neck knife size. And they're supposed to be great. Lady Picture Show 72 says, I love stickers. Well, if you love stickers that much, I have more stickers. In case you don't win this and you're dying for stickers, let me know. Let me know. Send me your email address, and I'll send you a little baggie of stickers with a random assortment of knife stickers. It's TheKnifeJunkie.com. I'm sorry, TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com, and I'll send you something out. Scott, dude, I love the helmet. That's cool. Chop, choppity, chop, chop. Yes, exactly. Chop, choppy, chop, chop. Indeed, sir. With the cool helmet. What kind of helmet is that? Is that, I'm sorry, Jim, can you go back to that last one real quick? I want to check out that helmet. Is that like a Norman helmet, or what is that? It's got the nose piece, but it's got the, tell me what kind of helmet that is, Scott. Strings, what's up, all you knife junkies? How you doing, man? Well, okay, I think this is an older comment because we've already said hello. But man, I cannot wait to show off what you and I traded for, or what I traded you for. Ryan Lynch, looking sharp. Good evening, junkies. Good evening to you, Ryan. Enjoying some newborn snuggles and Thursday night knives. Oh, kiss that little newborn on the top of the head. Oh, that smell, that sweet newborn smell. Craig Vincent, Bob, Secretary of Department of Swagaculture. Yes, indeed. Yes, it is a hallowed position, much responsibility, but I'm willing to take it. Yeah, I gotta get some of this swag out. I gotta get some of these knives out too. That's why we're doing a giveaway tonight of this beautiful Kubey KU214, I believe it is. Derek just put #knife in the comments. If you haven't heard this yet, #knife in the comments wins you this knife in the box and this cool swag bag. So #knife. And in about a half hour, give or take, or actually give, we will do a drawing. Derek says, Buck M9 Robus 3 1980s military knife built like a tank. Lucked out with mint eBay purchase. What is this? So I know some of the Buck knives from the 80s, like the Buckmaster, of course, with the grappling hook built in, which is so fucking corny, but I love it. I mean, believe me, I love it. But who's gonna like throw a big giant knife overhead to hook something and A, climb up using that, or B, have it fall back down on them? But still cool. They've done some cool stuff. And then the LMF and the BMF, very cool. But I don't know what that Phoberus M9 or whatever that was. What is that? Mike Hauser says, howdy from Nebraska, where the state tree is the phone pole. Mike, good to have you here, man. I love the Midwest. And Nebraska is about as Midwest as it gets, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? And you've got, you're in Tornado Alley, I guess. But I have been to Nebraska, and I remember as an 11-year-old loving it. I loved all of the Midwest states that were wide open and flat. So anyway, welcome. Good to have you here. James Hart says, bought my K-bar way back in the mid 80s, and it too has the extreme sharp swedge. I carried it when I worked in Yellowstone in 85, 91, and 95. How cool, James, that you worked. Well, first of all, that you had a sharpened swedge K-bar, but also that you worked in Yellowstone. James, you ever have any weird experiences in the woods? Curious. Lou, nice to have you here, loser. Bob, looking forward to your special T-Kel vid. Yes, sir. I posted the unboxing today. I realized I shot it when I got it like a week ago and never posted it. So I posted it today, and we'll take a look at that today when we do the pocket check, because I just love it, man. It's such a beautiful knife. And I'll get close up. I'll do a close-up video of it and really kind of dig in. But when I shot the video for that, I realized it was breathless and just sort of like, oh my God, I'm so excited. So by the time I shoot this video, I will have come down off of that high, and I'll be sober enough to show you the ins and outs of this awesome. I will say, I love the FMF model now, and I don't want to mess this one up. So I'm tempted to just buy an FMF in a more, in a less exclusive, configuration. String says, gotta love Bark River as well. Great American company. Absolutely. Love them since they were blackjack knives. Where's the, I pulled, nah, I guess I wanted to have one out. Damn it. And they are the best sort of at the convex grind. I did not pull it out. I was going to pull out the Boon 2, and I didn't. Sebastian, nice to have you here, Sebastian. Hey, I've been watching your streams for some time, and when the Cold Steel 1917 Frontier Bowie made an appearance, I noticed that the handle is almost black. Here, let me show you again. Actually, it is lighter than, oh, yeah, maybe it's the camera here. But the handle, I have noticed with this, and the Wild West Bowie, that it was just kind of like overly coated, like whatever the treatment was that they put on the wood handles, there's too much of it. And I think they both come from Windlass Steelcraft, which was mentioned earlier by Doug Bull in India, and they make amazing stuff. But I didn't like the coating; it was kind of tacky to the touch. So I took 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol to both this and the other one, and rubbed it down until the cloth came back clean. And this is what was left. It's still a very, very dark sort of maroon with the highlights and stuff there. Sebastian said, when I got mine, it was the same way, but after I washed it with dish soap and some light scrubbing, it removed the excess wood stain. Now the handle looks 10 times more beautiful than before. So, okay, we're on the same page. I did the same thing here, and now it's like, it feels good in hand, and it's not, it's not too much. I didn't do the soap. I used alcohol, but kind of the same concept here. And yeah, too much. Same thing with the Wild West Bowie. But it's interesting. The color on mine obviously is a little darker than on yours. It could be a matter of staining as well. I like this knife a lot. The blade is so beautiful. I do wish, like other cold steels, though, it had a sharpened swedge. That would just that would really excite me. Stephen Clayton Jr. I am not surprised that his vote goes to TKL knives. And when we get to the pocket check tonight, you will see that he has a lot of TKLs on him right now. I don't know, haven't talked to him this week, but I'm pretty sure that he's got a lot of TKLs on him. Scott says, "Hello, y'all. I'm a knife junkie, but I could give any time I like." Hello, y'all. I'm a knife junkie, but I could give any time I like. Scott, I hear you. I am too, man. I am too. I could give it up whenever I want. I just don't want to. Split and Slices says, if I can only pick one American company, I will pick Blue Ridge Knives, the largest wholesaler distributor of knives in the USA. Oh, Byron, pulling a joker out. Yeah, I see what you mean, because if you do it that way, then you could have any manner of knife. Dan Satermo, how you doing, man? Good to have you here. Bob, Jim Junkies, what's up? It's been a while. Indeed, it has. I've missed your bespectacled and smiling face, sir. Good to have you back with us. Derek Ninehouse says, TKL, not because of advertising. Just EDC Agent series fits like a glove. It also cuts nails, no damage. Very nice. Yeah, the advertising for TKL, I think, is just word of mouth. Suckers like me who love their stuff. I'm not a sucker, but you know what I mean. I'm not a sucker. I'm a sucker. Oh, 3 for TKL as well. Okay, thank you, Jim. That makes it 4, I think. Yeah. So in the keeping track, we got 4 Spyderco, 4 TKL. Very nice. I'm gonna have to tell him he's competing. But yeah, I haven't seen them advertise. They just do their own videos, and they do them very well. Camera Wife, I think, is in charge of all that, and then he's built a small fan base of knife channel owners like myself who love his stuff so much. And of course, as a collaborator, it behooves me to help push his stuff anyway. But I wouldn't do it if it weren't awesome. I would do it for other companies too. You know, and I'm looking at everything here. I do it for Emerson. I do it for Cold Steel. I do it for Spartan. Yeah, okay. All right, Bob. We get your point. Humble Dog Walker says, missed this for 8 months. Glad to catch up again. Man, 8 months. It's good to have you here. You know what? I remember you, Humble Dog Walker. I don't think you were humble, but I remember Dog Walker, or maybe it's just a different avatar. But it's great to have you back. We're here every week, so if you got a dip for a few months, we understand, but like the prodigal son, you can always come back. We will take you in, sir, because we love you. Timothy Chadwick says, Dawson Knives, yes, in Prescott, Arizona, is producing fine knives and swords. Their swords are so cool, and they posted like yesterday, I think, some sort of Bowie knife that they make that was so cool. Dan Satermo says, I missed y'all. Well, we missed you too, man. But you're back. You're back. And that's what counts, man. Ryan Lynch says, American made. Spyderco is a personal favorite. Love what Tactile is doing these days. That new Red Hawk fixed blade is fire. Red Hawk. What is that? Have I seen that? I must have seen that. I know I've seen that. It's on the tip of my inner eye, but I can't. I remember seeing something recently from them. You know, I was just playing with their one with the infinity lock or whatever it's called on the top. That's a cool knife. But unless you use it frequently, it seizes up a little. But I have an early production model of that, and I think they worked all those kinks out. 1931 leatherwork, but I'm with you. Tactile Knives is awesome. Everything made in Texas, and like pretty much everything made in-house, including screws. They get some things like their stop pins from down the street. So everything is Texas made. I think that's cool. 1931 Leatherwork says Tops sheaths are great. I'm a lefty though, and I have to make my own. Yeah, we don't We don't. I can't speak for we, but I don't think of that. But yeah, it's true. If you wear it on your left side, like on a belt, it's a whole different scenario. Unless you're willing to draw it in reverse grip or whatever. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna need to rework the sheath on something leather. Unlike Kydex, where you can switch the clip to either side. In a leather sheath, you don't have that sheath. You don't have that option. Night Stalker, TKL Knives, Night Stalker. Great knife. This is the one that I based the Agent 001 on in terms of measurement because I love to carry this knife. So the TKL one fits in this carry profile, or yeah, that size anyway. Ouchie EDC, good to have you here, Ouchie. Howdy, he says. Well, howdy to you. I love your Peter Griffin. Jim Morrison, nice to have you here, Jim. Oh, Great Eastern Cutlery, yes. You know what? I these days I just don't carry my GECs as much as I should, and I have a very nice collection of them. But I would agree with you; they are way up there. Derek Ninehouse says, "Great chat tonight. Cool knives, Bob. Thanks for sharing. Hey, my pleasure. I feel like I should share more because that's my mission." Well, we'll get to Pocket Check in a second. You'll see a couple of new things too in the state of the collection. But Adrian Fighter 35 says, I thought we were talking about knives made only in America. Cold Steel is definitely the best American knife company, in my humble opinion. LOL, because of the variety, price, and models. Yeah, I mean, the variety part, you definitely have something there because they, just from the time Lynn Thompson was at the helm, they have so many things that come that are replicated out of his personal collection of historical knives. You cannot beat it on the variety end. Todd Carr says, production, hard to beat Spyderco. That's 6. And the variety of steels they offer for custom. I'm looking forward to the guys who are pushing the limits on what steel is capable of, like Steingraber Performance knives and transparent knives. Yeah, those guys, both of them, really, well, you said it, pushing the limits. Michael Upchurch, nice to have you here, you bearded fellow. I like that. I like that giant gray beard because it means wisdom. My somewhat nominal gray beard also means wisdom. Power Play for real. Good to have you here, Power Play. Hey, Bob, I like that Tops knife you have, but Buck is my favorite American knife company. Yes, sir. I like Buck a lot. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in the nail test. I don't mean to keep coming back to that. I happen to love Peterbilt Knife Guys videos, and that nail test has left a big impression on me. And the S35VN from Ontario Knife Company for the Rat, did terribly. There's some things you don't expect to do badly. Other things you don't expect to be so robust, like D2. I mean, I guess as a tool steel, I should have expected it, but you see how it doesn't allow. Anyway, my point is, I wish that the Buck knives, especially with their special Paul Boss heat treats, I wish they did a little bit better in that test. I know that we're not all hammering our blades through nails. I certainly don't. But I don't know. Something about that has kind of gotten into me. So. But in terms of history, yeah, I mean, you gotta love Buck. And in terms of like actual knives that have been out there and actually used for years and generations, yeah, Buck. They're awesome and beautiful and classy and old fashioned, and I love it. Mark Salva says, "Good evening, Knifeaholics." Mark, good evening to you, sir. I need a better definition of an American knife company. Okay. All right. Really? I'm talking like, where do they file their tax return? I mean, like where are they based? I guess. United States, they could have everything made overseas, like Cold Steel. at this point. They didn't always have everything made overseas. They could be a company like Spartan Knife Company, which has some stuff made here, some stuff made overseas. By the way, look at how cool that is. TKL knives are all that. I will consider that a vote. So it's 6-5, Spyderco versus TKL so far. Seth Lang, hey all, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Good to have you here, Seth. We're talking American knives. To me, I love Spartan blades. Look at this thing, man. Designed by the outstanding Bill Harsey Jr., the legendary, I should say, Bill Harsey Jr. This dagger is just so incredible. And by the way, this amazing sheath is made by Chattanooga Leather Works, which is a part of the RMJ group of companies. And I love Chattanooga Leather Works. So American could be anything from someone who OEMs over. Okay. It's not the designer who OEMs everything overseas. That's not what we're talking about necessarily. Not that they're not American, but that's kind of where I'm drawing the line. A company like Spartan does a lot of stuff here and some stuff over there. A company like Spyderco does some stuff here, a lot of stuff over there. But they are, so that's what we're talking about. Cold Steel does pretty much everything over there, but they are so firmly American and old, been around forever. So, Will B, nice to have you here, Will. Greetings, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. I have to say that TKL is the best American knife company. I love it. And Montana Knife Company is the worst for reasons I won't disclose. Will B. All right. You don't have to disclose the reasons, but can you hint at it? And the reason I ask is because I don't have much, or I have no Montana Knife Company experience, except trying to organize an interview with one of their main two guys. And I wasn't the guy who started. I didn't initiate that process. They did, but, still hasn't worked out yet. Let me put it that way. So I'm curious, Will B, can you hint at why you feel that way? I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't have any of their knives. I'd like to check them out, but let me know. I think it's interesting. They advertised during one of the playoff games or during the Super Bowl. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, oh my God, a knife company during like a major national event. Jim Morrison, I love your music, man. Good to have you here with us. Buck was great when Chuck ran it in El Cajon, California, before Chinesium appeared. I like Chinesium. El Cajon. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's where they were anyway. Ira Hayes, nice to have you here, Ira. I hope you're free now. Good evening. My first high end was Emerson. Yes. Emerson. And my last has been TKL. I have an Ops Hawk and the 007 on order. Hi, buds. Hey, man, it's good to have you here, Ira. I love Emerson knives. I have a pretty hardy collection. But TKL also. So, well, you haven't said that TKL. I like TKL designs and collaborations. The new Battle Lock grips rock, says Mike Hauser. Mike, can I put you down as a TKL, or I'll wait till I have a confirmation. All right, listen up, people. We do have this knife on giveaway. All you have to do is put #knife in the comment, and your comment goes into a big hopper. We spin a virtual wheel. It's not a wheel. We press a virtual button, and a random number generator comes up with who wins this. Do it. It's really great. It's very comfortable in hand. It's the Kubey KU214 D2 steel. Thank you to Dave of OG Blade Reviews for sending this along to give to you. Great for all sorts of utility, and it's very comfortable in hand. Also, if pressed into action, would be awesome for self-defense. I'm sure you won't need it for that. Also comes with a swag pack, including a coaster, a Knife Junkie coaster, so you can put your beverage down on the wood without getting yelled at, and a Vosteed keychain, a Terzuola patch, and then a whole mess of stickers. So free to you. I pay the shipping. All you have to do is put hashtag knife in the comments, and in, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, we will do this drawing, and one of you beautiful people can win this. So please, please do that. Put it in there. If you don't want the knife, give it to someone. You'll look like a big man, big woman, whatever it is, and or you could give it away as a gift at Christmas time, or you could sell it. You decide. But there's no reason why you should pass up the opportunity to get a beautiful free knife. I think I'm right when I say that. Have a Knife Day says, I also have the Tops Wild Pig Hunter. I love that. Plus the Prather War Bowie. I said Bowie this time. And a couple of other Tops knives too. The Prather War Bowie I love, and I wish that swedge was fully sharpened. That would just push it over the edge. James Moore, old friend, it's great to have you here. Bob, any criteria for your question? A minimal number of employees, workers for a company to be? No. I mentioned even before, must they manufacture at least some of their knives, but not necessarily all in the U.S.? Yes, any of the above. Like I mentioned, even Hogtooth Knives, a one-man operation, everything custom out of Massachusetts. It could be that, or it could be your cold steel. We've had a number of Spydercos. We've had it's tied 6-6 Spyderco versus TKL knives. So a lot of people, so the difference between those two companies, or even it could be down to like singular maker, one person, low output. Clark Henry, nice to have you here, Clark. Yes, this is good. K-Bar released a worthwhile autobiographical documentary on YouTube. Really? They're in the conversation for sure. How cool. Yeah, and I was just before was showing off this Spartan blades. Now this one doesn't have the K-Bar stamp, but some of the knives in their more affordable line are made by K-Bar in New York. What is it? Olean, New York. And that's what the evergreen logo or whatever. Well, anyway, you know what I'm saying. K-Bar and Spartan Blades have a partnership as well. So yeah, I mean, they are in the conversation for sure. Whether it's an old school USMC K-Bar, or we're talking like a Spartan Blades, or one of their Jesse Giroux's models or something like that. Victor Blade says, hey, Bob, que se dice? Good to have you here, Victor. He's our my resident paisan. And also, I mentioned to him, Victor, that name runs throughout my family, through the generations. Love TKLs. Now I will be pulling the trigger on one soon. Fixed Blades are calling me. Yes, and you should answer that call, Victor. Or Vito, as I call my brother. Just got my Holtz Blades Morpheus today. Damn, what a knife. Yeah, man. Damn, what a knife. Holtz Blades are awesome. I've only held others at Blade Show, but yeah, nice purchase, sir. Ira Hayes says, I used to see ads for Tops in Soldier of Fortune, but only got my first relatively recently, the El Pionero. I would like to get that. I just saw 411 Outdoors video of that the other day, and I like that guy a lot. I'm trying to get him on the show. He has not responded yet, but I'd love to have him on the show. He'd be so cool to talk to. Daniel, I think his name is. But yeah, he had some very interesting insights on the El Pionero, the Ed Calderon Tops collaboration, and it's not a fruit knife. Well, it's a paring knife, but it's not a curved fruit knife like we know comes a lot from the Elvia series from Ed Calderon. This looks more like a straight ahead steak knife, paring knife, but there's that swedge on the back for the double edge, which I definitely would get. I just don't have one yet. Loser says, damn it. I'm sorry. Damn it. I just went to your TKL link and the PD1 is out of stock on the AEBL. Well, if they have it in 80 CRV2, get it. I don't know if they do, but if they have it in the other steel, get it, because everything from TKL knives is nickel boron coated, and that takes care of a lot of. It not only slips into whatever you're cutting easier, but it also increases the Rockwell hardness and protects the steel if it's a corrosive steel like this. Well, this is AEBL, but I have a bunch of ADCRV2 blades from them with the nickel boron coating, and it's not an issue at all. I'm not sure if that's on offer, but if it is, I wouldn't hesitate to go for it. Have a Knife Day says Tell has a folder I saw on the Tom Veff Instagram page, but I cannot. T-Kel, okay, thank you, but I cannot seem to find it on his site. Well, I think that run is sold, and I think what you're seeing on the Veff site is probably someone who bought it, sold it to him, or he ended up with it, and I think that's how he got it. Oh, yes, absolutely. Big Tank ATX, good to have you here, Big Tank. How's it going, everyone? It's going well. Thank you, sir. Has anyone seen the Dauntless Manufacturing, the Clift Bowie? Yes, it is beautiful. It's got that key, what do they call that? The key slot guard. It is beautiful. And they come in two different kinds, like a drop point and then a more straight clip point. But also, if you like Dauntless, they have a dagger coming out. I can't remember when they said it was coming out. During the summer, maybe Blade Show. That looks so nice. It's similar to this in size. Like this is only a 6-inch blade, so it's kind of about this size. It looks so sweet. Yeah, I love Dauntless Manufacturing as well. I got to have those guys back on the show. They're so cool, very nice, and do very cool work. And they've built up their company in a slow but steady wins the race kind of way, and I appreciate that. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door says, not necessarily my favorite, but case knives have been in pockets for years and years. Here, man. Absolutely. I love case knives, especially, well, I like all case knives for their sentimental appeal and for their designs and looks. But if I'm going to collect them, if I'm going to get one, I definitely prefer their CV line and their chrome vanadium or carbon steel line, because it's much smaller. They have very few of those knives, and they seem to pay special attention to them. Excuse me. James Hart says, yes, the Cold Steel 1917 Frontier Bowie was made by Windlass Steelcraft of India, and they make all sorts of edged. Yeah, they make some cool stuff. I used to go to this site years ago called Cult of Athena, I think, or something like that. And they sold all sorts of cool, like, oh, hey, you want a hoplite sword or helmet, or you want a Norman, panoply or whatever it was. Like, they sold a lot of really cool swords and stuff from history. So yeah, I like Windlass cutlery for sure. Ginger Fisher 75, nice to have you here, Ginger. Size does not make an EDC. I couldn't agree with you more, sir. I mean, let's put it this way, everyone's got their own size what do you want? Parameters for their EDC, but there's nothing determining that. Though you might say that if you're selling and marketing a knife as an EDC knife, you're probably going to do better if you keep it within a certain range. But I agree with you. You can't. It's like they say, there's no accounting for taste. There's no accounting for EDC size. Derek Ninehouse says, referring to the agent, just got my FMF Blem. Looks fine to me. That said, that's a perfect segue, because we do have to get away to giving away a knife. Before we do, let's get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
You're going to be surprised, but in my front right pocket, and for a few days, has been the Cold Steel 4MAX Scout. You don't see this knife here much, but I just got these beautiful Bocate scales. Am I pronouncing that correctly? These wood scales are so beautiful, so perfectly sized, milled. The fitment is absolutely awesome. Look at this. So this had the cheap old Grivery handles. I shouldn't say cheap. They worked great for me until I got these scales in my life, and all of a sudden I've fallen in love with this knife. I've been carrying it quite a bit since I got these scales 4 or 5 days ago. Now, these come from Alien Scales, and Alien Scales is a company, sort of an offshoot of Snaggletooth Tactical. You know Snaggletooth Tactical. The guy, Rob Penna, who makes this beautiful pocket snag device that I have on a bunch of my cold steels. It also fits on most knives that have removable thumb studs. And he's got a bunch of different products under the Snaggletooth Tactical moniker, or shingle, I guess I should say. But when he's got extra time for his mill, he makes these beautiful scales. And God, man, I love these scales. So I've been carrying this knife for the past few days and just loving it. It's been like a honeymoon, if you will, or it's just like, you know how they say, like on the Hallmark movies, it's like all of a sudden you realize what you wanted, what you truly loved, was always in front of you the whole time. Well, that's this knife, the Formax Scout. I took it for granted, and then I realized the beauty. Once I had these beautiful bocate wood scales on them. Gorgeous, beautiful grain, nice hardwood, and perfectly fit to this knife. So Alien Scales, I couldn't be more impressed. Now, I know that he's got trouble keeping them in stock because people love them and they snag them up, but he spends most of his efforts on the Snaggletooth and the Snaggletooth line of stuff because I think that's his bread and butter. But he's sort of expanding into Rob Penna of Snaggletooth Tactical is expanding into the scales line with Alien. So keep an eye on these guys if that interests you. I know it's catch as catch can at this point, but who knows? You might catch them at the right time. Next up, and this is a sort of a heartbreaker. In my back left pocket, as usual, I had this gorgeous locking Jack Wolf knife, the new Diamondback Jack, new for March of 2024. I say heartbreaking because, look at the clip. Look at the clip. I sat down and it snagged down the arm of the chair. God damn it. And excuse the French, but it pulled that out and bent it. So I have to pull this off and bend it back into shape. That just, man, that just ruined my day. It didn't ruin my day, but it pissed me off because at least it didn't break, I guess. But I hate when that happens. And it happens sometimes because I like to carry knives in my back left pocket. And sometimes I'm in a rush and I sit in two different chairs during my work day. One's at my desk and then the other's in an edit room. And I get up and I run into the edit room and I sit down and damn it, wouldn't you know, I cut it too close. So I had this on me today. I love this knife. I've been carrying it ever since I got it. Next up, carrying it samurai style. And I think what people mean when they say this is in the waistband, but with a shot cord. I had the new Sidekick from Off Grid Knives. I really like this knife a lot. It fits the hand great. It carries really well. It's got a pretty thick handle here. I mean, it's not too thick. It feels perfect in hand. And actually, the way I had it, let me show you here. The way I had it, here's my belt, and the handle just kind of peeks out right over the front. And you got to bend down. It bends with you right under your belt. It's a great carry profile like this. Though I have a feeling I'm just going to put some. I'm going to do it the way I've been doing it recently. I'm going to put some soft loops, probably 2 on this one, and have it set up for reverse draw, just because I'm used to that. Front scout, reverse draw, and then if I need to use it for something like I probably need to use it for, I'll just turn it around. But man, this new EDC is awesome. It's an EDC version of the Backcountry. You probably recognize that blade profile. Love it. I love the jigged handle. handle scales. I love all the jimping, the forward thumb ramp and the back thumb ramp. So this is like super great, super comfortable and secure. So is that. It's about a 3.6-inch blade, about 7 inches overall. Really, really awesome. And I don't have the other one here, but it comes with a rotating clip, much like the Tops metal rotating clip. This one is a G10 rotating clip or a plastic rotating clip, so you can orient it however you want on your belt. I just wanted to take it off the belt, so I put the cord on, wrap this around the belt or a belt loop, but I prefer the belt because you never know when you might tear off a belt loop. So, and then just tuck it into your waist. It's a great way to carry a fixed blade. All right, last up, my emotional support knife, my ESK today, was the beautiful limited edition TheKnifeJunkie FMF. If you haven't seen this, I guess I haven't shown it off enough, but I showed it off a bunch last week, and I'm going to make a video of it this weekend. So this is a limited edition FMF with those beautiful red, white, and blue marbled scales or burl type scales here, G10 scales. Very much a special request commission from Tim. And then he made about 5 or 6 of these for auction, though each blade was different. The Don't Tread on Me, I love the Gadsden flag, and then the We the People. From the preamble of the Declaration of Independence. I love that too, We the People, right? That's not the Constitution. That's the Declaration of Independence, right? I love the text, the way it's written. Here's the Frogman tactical logo, because this is a collaboration with Frogman Tactical. FMF stands for Frogman Field Knife. Beautiful clip point blade, extremely wickedly sharp and great on this back cut. If you find yourself in a knife duel, this will hold you in good stead. You got a little glass breaker / persuader on the back. And man, I love this knife so much, but this is a collection piece for me. So I'm very much considering getting a non-special version of this with regular old scales and a regular old blade. Man, look at that. That's pretty nice looking lineup today. What did I use it for? Nothing but lunch. But hey, I was ready in case I had to. So today I had the Frogman Field Knife in a special edition from TheKnifeJunkie with the awesome sheath, by the way. This thing you can rotate and slide up and tighten down, so this doesn't come out at all, which is a cool feature, especially if you are in the military and you do or in law enforcement or something where you carry a knife like this and you're afraid it might pop out. You can lock it in there with that. Great knife for my ESK. And then, of course, in the waistline, I had this new Off-Grid Knives Sidekick. Great knife. Check this one out. We have an Off-Grid Knives affiliate link. You can buy that from, and that I believe is like $60, $57 or something. Like, it's a steel. By the way, that's 14C28 and blade steel. I also had my now janky Diamondback, but it just shows that it's been used. I just have to fix the clip. And then, of course, my 4MAX Scout with the alien scales. What were you guys carrying? Let me know. Drop it in the comments below. And in a couple minutes, we'll get to this giveaway. I'll have to go with Spyderco, says Ed. All right. So now it's 7. It's like Spyderco and TheKnifeJunkie. Look at that. I mean, others have been mentioned, but if we're talking preponderance, it's Spyderco and TheKnifeJunkie. OG Blade Review says, Bob, I also have the bolt pen. Do you think it'll fly well? I mean, yeah, I think you could probably get away with it. Though I do know that TSA, they're totally wise to the tactical pen thing, but that doesn't look so threatening. But I think that it's so. I mean, Okay, so I have a tactical pen from Regiment Blades that I don't think will fly well, though he's gotten reports from people who say it flies well. But it's got a ring. It looks kind of weapony, and a lot of tactical pens do. This one to me doesn't quite rise to the weapon look, though maybe the glass breaker will get some pearl clutching. But I'm thinking this one is safe. Let me know. I'm not flying until Blade Show, so I'll be able to find out then. Todd Carr says TKEL is the same as Spyderco or Benchmade at this point with their production process. Not quite. I mean, well, not quite at all, actually. They have much smaller machinist outfits doing their stuff. But yeah, he's not sawing it out and then like doing each knife by hand, though he is putting edges on a lot of the knives. He is like actually hand grinding the edges of a lot of the knives. But he does not have the same automation as Spyderco or Benchmade, though they are made on mills. Ex-Sailor 007, good to have you here, Ex-Sailor. Buck Knives, he says. Buck Knives. All right, so that's 2 for Buck. I'm going to put Buck down here. I'm seeing a pattern here. Gary Bucco says, it's kind of hard to nail down which Tops knife I have, but I might say the Camp Creek in S35VN. That was the anniversary version of that knife, right? Oh, my Camp Creek. Am I thinking of the Tops? I have something Creek Tops that I love, and now I can't think of what it is, but I don't think it's the Camp Creek. But truth be told, what I have on my belt every single day is the Hogtooth EDC Tonto. Yes. Love it. Yes. The Tonto version of this knife. That's the knife that inspired the Nova 1 and the Nova 2. The Hogtooth EDC Tonto is so awesome. Couldn't agree with you more. Mad Hatter, LT Wright knives. Mad Hatter, good to have you here, sir. LT Wright, I need to get an LT Wright in my life. Loser says fungus coffee does not sound like a good idea. But it's what all the cool kids are drinking. And you know what got me? I was reading about cortisol, the stress hormone that tends to put weight, especially around the midline for middle-aged men like myself. And I have to admit, I'm not that stressed. And my wife would freak out if she heard me say that, but I think women just kind of carry more stress, I think, because they've got that running ticker in their brain that men don't have maybe as much of or at all. That ticker that says, oh, we gotta get vaccinations for the kids, and and when's the new soccer season starting, and what's for dinner next week, and like all that stuff. We got to call my mom and invite her to this. Like I don't have that. I don't have that constant ticker in my head. I believe that creates stress, and the stress hormone is cortisol. But still, I read that thing, and it's like, oh, mushroom coffee. I was like, oh, that's all I got to do. Mushroom coffee, I'll lose the gut. I don't think that's going to happen. But I agree with you. Fungus coffee, it doesn't smell good. And I might just have to blend it in with like chocolate protein powder and just call it a day. String says Spyderco makes good knives, although for me, for the most part, because they just look so weird. To me now, they're just regular. They're just knives now, but I know what you mean. They do look weird. This is the Spyderco Military 1 or Military. As you can see, it does not have the compression lock and it does not have the clip on the other side. I would love to get the Military 2. I just haven't been able to justify it because I don't carry the Military enough anymore. But I love this. And totally coincidentally, my brother and my father, both separate from me, have this exact same knife. So I always thought that was kind of cool. Jim Morrison says, one of my favorite EDC pocket carry knives was the good old Queen cutlery before the Daniels family takeover destroyed the company and brand. The number 48 Whittler was excellent, and I snatch up all I can find. All right, I figured it was you snatched up all. I think that's the way to go. Some people say if you find something and you like it, get two of them. I have not always done that, but sometimes I wish I had. So I'm glad you did that for yourself. Seth Lang, nice to have you here, Seth. I had a great Tops knife before it was stolen out of my Datsun. You have a Datsun. That's pretty cool. Glad the Datsun wasn't stolen. Bad day. It was the Tops California Cobra. That's so cool. Strange but cool looking knife designed by Lee Espinoza. I think you can still get that. That's Cold Comfort. I'm sure you don't want to spend money on that again. But I always thought that was cool because it's kind of a Pikal knife before Pikal knives were cool. You know what I mean? Because it's got that sort of hooked blade. It's sharp on both sides. And it looks like it excels in reverse grip. But it also has that guard that has the glass breaker on it, that pyramidal point. I think that's pretty cool. I'm sorry to hear that. I had a Cold Steel Recon 1 Tonto stolen from my car, and one of two awesome leather gloves, especially and amongst a bunch of other stuff. James Hart says, the bug bit me, and now I'm an owner of the Cold Steel SafeMaker 1 push dagger. Awesome. I love that. I also dropped the hammer on the Cold Steel Trench Hawk, so I'm ready for night ops. Yes, I know. I'm familiar with the night ops situation. That's why I have black blades, because I don't want anything to reflect when I'm out there doing night ops. One Moon Collective, nice to have you here, One Moon. What up, Knife Junkie and friends? Hey, it's good to have you here, One Moon. And cool little logo there. That's cool. You got a heart with a bunch of cool knives going into it. Craig Vincent says, Bob, this week's acquisitions, Gurkha, Nepalese-made kukri, Old Hickory 5.5 inch belt knife. Okay. Where did you get that? Let me know. I wanted to get that as a gift for a friend of mine's wife, and I couldn't find it, but I always thought those were cool. Cold Steel Tonto Light, excellent. I think you mean the SR1 Light. The blacked out 3.5 inch Cold Steel Frenzy. Oh, I want to get that. The pokey little cuz, that is. I like the big one. The little one looks pretty cool too, I gotta say. Scott, loving the Tops Storm Vector. The Storm Vector, that's cool. That's that big sax, the big sax style knife. That looks cool, and it kind of goes with your helmet, I gotta say. Let me pick up this so I don't forget. American Father, nice to have you here, American Father. American Father, if you're just joining us, this is the knife giveaway knife tonight for all comers. And actually, we're going to do this now because I'm always pushing it back. I was going to do it 20 minutes ago and didn't. Ira says, why don't you ever hear about grappling hook related injuries? Too embarrassing, I guess. You know why, Ira? Because it's all people who have the old Buckmaster, and they're like, let's see if this thing works. And then it falls and lands on their foot and pins them where they stand. All right, so let's check this out. This one last time, we'll take a look at this very cool and unique Warncliffe style blade, or modified sheep's foot, whatever you want. Very, very slight belly on this one. Midline center point, midline point, midline to lower point. You've got a beautiful thumb swale on the blade that feels great. You also have an excellent run of jimping there that is just beneath the surface here, but grippy enough that your thumb sinks into it on that thumb ramp. Very comfortable. Very nicely contoured G10 handles with a cool profile. So very comfortable handle. D2 blade steel, which we all know if we've been watching Peterbilt Knife Guy's knife nail tests where he pounds blades through nails. D2 is consistently the most robust of steels that he's been testing. So even though it's become sort of pedestrian to us all, D2 blade steel is awesome and nothing to sneeze at. Really cool, I got to say, flipper tab. I like the way it looks, and it operates great. You have a sculpted titanium pocket clip. And we're going to give this away with a swag bag. So a bunch of stickers, bunch of cool knife-related stickers that were acquired from Blade Show and also purchases and gifts that have come in here. So a bunch of stickers. And then on this side, you can see there's a coaster to put down your beverage, a Knife Junkie coaster, a Terzuola patch, a Vosteed keychain. So a swag pack and an awesome blade. Jim, let's bring up the old random number generator. We have 76 entries. All right, so your chances are pretty good. Let's roll it in 3, 2, and 1. All right. This is always tense, always very tense, because you think it's going to stop somewhere, and then it keeps going. G. Clem, this is yours, madam or sir. I'm assuming sir. That is awesome, man. G. Clem, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and email your information, i.e. your mailing address, to TheKnifeJunkie at gmail.com. Again, that's TheKnifeJunkie, i.e. at gmail.com. Let me know where you are, where you want this sent to, I should say, and I will get this in the mail, I think tomorrow, because I think I'm mailing out a bunch of stuff tomorrow to include another trade with strings and last week's Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway knife. But he's not aware that he won it yet, so he's not missing it yet. I had a crazy week, so I'm getting them all out tomorrow. So G. Clem, let me know your mailing address. It's frustrating to me when we do these giveaways and then people forget to do that. We had one. It's still sitting in my locked up at my desk at work, ready to get sent off. It was that Bulbasaur by Shield and Knives. Very cool barong-like knife. And it's just sitting there. So hopefully one day I will hear from that individual. If I don't, we'll just put it back up for a giveaway. But G. Clem, congratulations. And everyone, I got a lot of knives here to give away. And these are all gifts from almost all gifts to the channel from Dave at OG Blade Reviews. And so we give them away on a regular basis. So I want you to have these knives. Now, Dave wants you to have these knives too, and I want to urge you to go check out OG Blade Reviews channel. I'm sure you're probably already subscribed because he's a great dude. He does awesome videos. He's a professional photographer amongst many other things, including very experienced Filipino martial artist and expert at weapons. He's awesome, and he's got a huge, awesome, deep collection. So go check out OG Blade Reviews. All right. Ron Dobbins, the Knife Junkie. Hello, Ron. It's good to have you here, man. Sebastian says, my pick would be Essie knives because they are tough as nails. And the lifetime guarantee speaks volumes about their brand confidence. I couldn't agree with you more. However, Tops would be a really close second, and they're kind of similar style knives. A lot of 1095, a lot of micarta, all full tag. Essie. Essie's good. I'm surprised you're the first person to mention Essie. The Buck M9 was Buck's entry. Oh, okay, for a bayonet. So does that have, James? Does that have the wire clipper with the little built-in notch and post? Derek says, I'll email you a pic tomorrow of my M9 Frobis. All right, cool. Thank you, Derek. You know where to send it. Doug Bull says, Bob, I forgot to add Atlanta cutlery as that is also windless, but geared more towards medieval knives and swords. Atlanta cutlery. So when I was a kid in high school and middle school in the 80s, my buddy Mike would get Atlanta cutlery catalogs, and they had all sorts of stuff. It wasn't, I have an Atlanta cutlery kukri here that I got from him ages and ages ago. And I think they sold the Cold Steel Tonto and other stuff. And it came in a kind of like REI's old catalog. It was like newsprint with drawings, not drawings, but kind of technical art instead of photographs. Yeah, you're bringing me back with Atlanta cutlery, and we would pour over it. Okay, on this page, what would you get if you get anything on this page? What would you get? I'd get that. Yeah, those are the days. An American father says, I inherited a Vietnam era K bar that is sharp on both sides. Cool. I love it. I have a couple of old K bars, and I love them just for the history. Just knowing that they had been through stuff. Let's see. Oh, where's up there. That was World War II or Korea. My brother and I are still trying to figure it out. My brother gets me all the cool old K bars and old knives. Seth Lang says also Joe Flowers is a knife designer with Tops, but he does a lot of stuff with Condor. Cool stuff too. Have any of you seen the new Joe Flowers Zampapo knife? It splits the difference between Pakal and bushcraft. Yes, it is very cool. Hey, Seth, have you seen the Joe Flowers interview on the Knife Junkie podcast? He's a really interesting and funny guy. I loved talking with him. Just look up the Knife Junkie Joe Flowers. You might find it interesting. It was about a year ago, or maybe a little more than that, year and a half. Alakai Torres, nice to have you. Alakai, I think. Alakai Torres, good to have you here, Alakai. I live in a free state and love my autos. Protect for the win. #knife. Sorry you didn't win the knife, Alakai, but yeah, I'm with you. It's good to live in a free state. And though I live in a state that, let's say for weapons purposes or, knives and automatics is now free as of July 1st, 2021, when we got our right to carry automatics. There are some states that I've lived in the past, like New York State and other places that are not so free. So I'm glad you are where you are. Fed Harrison, nice to have you here, Fed. Have to go with Benchmade, people. Oh, I'm sorry. Have to go with Benchmade. People need to stop complaining about the butterfly tax and just go to the gas station and get you one. Much love, Bob and Jim. Thank you, Fed. Hey, speaking of Benchmade, I'm really liking the new, not the Ruckus. I wish they would redo the Ruckus. The redo of the Bedlam. Beautiful. It looks so nice, man. Especially the one with the carbon fiber handle. And you don't hear me say that too often, but something about that Persian blade just looks so cool. And I've had a big Ruckus, or not Ruckus. I'm sorry. I've had a big Bedlam on loan here, but that's awesome. I found the new Bowie. I need it. It's Dauntless Manufacturing, the Clift. Yes, Big Tank. Go for it, man. That thing is beautiful. I know PVK has those. But as for the Bedlam, interesting story about the Bedlam. That was the first one, the very first one. It's had 2 production runs, but the first one, only 10 were made. It was commissioned, 10 or 20 were made. It was commissioned by the royal family of Jordan. So all the bodyguards of the Jordanian royal family carried Bedlams, and they look like the traditional blades from that part of the world. I thought that was cool. I just learned that last week. Cody Broadway, good to have you here, Cody. What's up, Bob, Jim, and Junkies? Have you laid eyes on the spring sale prices for cold steel right now? No. The most S35 models under $100, SRK for $38. Oh, yes, I'm on it. I will get on it. I have not seen that. Derek Ninehouse. I also have a zero tolerance 006 by Kershaw that's in CPM 3V. Coated finish, solid build for field work. I'm not sure which one. Is that the brand new one with the guard? Ex-Sailor 007. Vote for Chris Reeve. All right. Let's put a Chris Reeve down here. Yeah, Chris Reeve is awesome. All right. I got to show you. I got to show you this. Paul Mills. I've got a large Nkosi with a transparent knives regrind. That sucker is sharp AF. No doubt. And thinly ground, no doubt. Here, I got to show this. I've been wanting this for years. I've talked about it here ad nauseum, and Strings finally hooked it up. Thank you so much, Strings. This is now my cold steel Desperado. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. I have wanted this for ages. So now I've discovered here. I'll put it next to the current Voyager Vaquero Large. So you can see it's got the older style Vaquero blade, a slightly different profile. And it's got this craton egg-shaped handle that feels so good in the forward grip. It's got a 5-inch blade and a great sheath. It's an awesome, came to me in awesome shape from Strings. Thank you very much, sir. Here, I'm going to wipe it down. Just an amazing find. Thank you so much for putting this offer up for trade. I'm so happy to have this in my collection at long last. It's been like at least 25 years I've wanted this knife, and it's in stupid great condition. Something I have discovered having this knife in forward grip like this, it feels so solid, so awesome. This egg shape just nestles perfectly in the hand. It's sort of flat, but sort of round, so it's not going to turn in the hand. And then you've got the thumb up here. In reverse grip, not so much in reverse grip. And I figured out the reason why. You don't really have the leverage. You might have the leverage this way, but you have no leverage for having it turn awkwardly in hand. Whereas when you have it in the forward grip with the thumb up here, it's locked in. So I would have to say, and not my first choice for reverse grip, because I feel like, I mean, I could grip it really strong and it probably isn't going to turn, but I don't know. It leaves me feeling a little less secure in reverse grip, but in forward grip, it's just built. It's built for my hand. I love this thing. It's so cool. All right. What do you guys think of this? The Desperado. Are you excited that you don't have to hear me say it was the one that got away? Wah, wah, wah. I'm actually going to now turn to the Black Rhino. I wish they would just come out with the Black Rhino again. I think a lot of people want to see the Black Rhino come out. It's basically their large locking version of the, what do they call it? The clip knife from like Case Knives. Of course, the Case Knives clip knife was not a locker, but this one would be. But not to rush by this. I am so thrilled, so happy. And again, thank you so much, Strings. Ryan Lynch says, Tactile Red Hawk is a collaboration with Taylor. Oh, yes. From Best Damn EDC. Think they just unveiled it at Blade, Texas. Yes. Kind of a Warncliffe, I think. Yeah. I like Taylor's, I like Taylor Martin's design with Civivi. That is a handsome looking knife. Hussein Ahmed, nice to have you here, sir. Hello there, he says. Well, hello to you. What are you carrying tonight? Let us know. OG Blade Review says Tactile is also now producing some Bastinelli models. Yeah, they're OEMing. They're doing some OEMing, and man, who better to OEM but them? They are so on point, and so they have everything in house. Almost. Cold Steel Collector 808. Aloha, junkies. Sorry I'm late. Aloha to you, sir. Great to have you with us. And you don't have to apologize for being late here. You don't have to apologize. Oh, man. The lateness thing is crazy in my family because I am super anal on time, and my daughters are, and my wife is not. And man, there lies the conflict sometimes. But I guess if that's the worst our conflict gets, I guess that's all right. Ira Hayes says Cold Steel has an American-made knife now. It's official. Oh, the Republic, right? The Republic, the cool outdoor knife, and it's got a leather sheath. And I've been baying and whining about leather sheaths and how Cold Steel needs to produce more leather sheaths. I got another knife to show you in the state of the collection here. It's so cool. It's so cool. I bought this, was a total impulse buy. Cold Steel #1, baby. Nice. Okay. I got this on an impulse. It was early morning. I remember very early morning because I get up at 5. So I must have been in the bathroom, let's say. And I saw a Choir Boys cutlery video of this, and I bought it. I was like, buy it now before you have a chance to reconsider. And it was very reasonably priced. and it's so effing cool. Oh my God. All right. It's from APOC Knives. This is the Cass Iberia company, and it's the Smatchet. Look at this. Double-edged Smatchet. This is designed by Mike Wallace, and it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous and beautiful and intimidating and still covered with oil, uh, and razor sharp. By the way, it is so sharp. And if you go to the APOC, or I think you can get it through the Cass Iberia website as well, you will see it is extremely reasonably priced, which probably means it's made in China. I'm not sure. And I don't remember what the blade steel is, but it's totally wicked. All right, I'm going to wipe some of this distracting oil off. It came with a bunch on it, and I decided not to thoroughly clean it because I thought maybe it needed it, but after a few days, I don't think it does. The handle is a milled G10 with some micro milling, and it's a great shape, and it fits the hand so well. I have medium-sized hands. I have no doubt that large hands will find this quite comfortable, because I have shaken Scab's hand, and he's got big hands, and he loved the way this felt in hand. This thing is awesome. I'm going to put the sheet down here so I don't get any excess oil on my leather background mat. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. The Smatchet, if you don't know, was a knife that was used in World War II and designed purely as a melee weapon. It was not half jungle tool. It was not intended to be like a pry bar or anything to clear brush. It was like for killing only. And I mean, look at it. It's like a small sword. It looks kind of like a little gladius or a little what was that sword that the hoplites carried? It's just all weapon all day long. And I've always loved the Smatchet. And I think that Colonel Fairbairn had something to do with its design, or was it someone else? Some other famous combatives guy had to do. Well, I guess before I present this on the Wednesday show, I need to do my research on the Smatchet. But the Smatchet is a cool historical knife, and this is an absolutely beautiful and stout version of it, and that is about a 1/4 inch or no, is this about 3/8 of an inch slab of steel, and it is supremely wicked and cool. So tell me what you guys think. I love it, and if you go check it out, you'll see it's excitingly priced. So it's under $200. Yeah. Let's see. Patrick, TKL first, Spyderco second. All right, so that's just a vote for TKL. I'm not considering that a vote for Spyderco. Victor Blades says, surprised no one even mentioned them. Call out on man. Wait. Sorry, I messed that up. Surprised no one even mentioned them. Call, come on, man. Definitely in the top 3. I know not all their stuff is made in the States, but still. Wait, who are you talking about? This is what I don't mention them. Who? I think I'm missing a part of that conversation. But they don't have to be made in the United States. They could be completely made overseas, just not an overseas brand. Blame Dexter, good to have you here with that creepy ass face. It's been a while, Blame Dexter, since I could catch a stream. Well, it's good to have you back. I remember your old stream was like, your old avatar was like something else. What was it? Blood spatters or something? I never get Fridays off. The only reason I can catch this is because I'm sick. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Blame Dexter. Everyone send good vibes to Blame Dexter so he's not sick. He's not sick on Saturday. Maybe he needs to be sick on Friday just so he can get off of work and with good conscience. But let's all wish him better by Saturday for sure. Blame Dexter. I hope you're feeling better real soon, man. Jeremy Nedro says, Spyderco is my favorite production knife company. All right, another one. Thank you, Jeremy. And Blame Dexter, let us know what your favorite American knife company is. Could be as small as a one-man custom shop. Could be as big as Cold Steel. Let us know. Rob Dobbins says, I just picked up my second James brand Barnes knife. Your second. That is a really nice looking knife. The Barnes, that one is the integral, right? I think that's definitely my favorite James brand knife, though I don't own any. Geo Knife. Hi, everyone. Hey, Geo Knife. It's great to have you here. I've seen a couple of videos of your really cool crossbar lock, a titanium golf ball milled folders. They look beautiful. It's great to have you here. Victor Blade says, surprised no one mentioned Demko. One person mentioned Demko. Top three, in my opinion, without a doubt. They make badass knives. That's agreed. I'm loving their fixed blades. Reasonably priced, tough as nails. I know not all their stuff is made in the States, but still, yeah, don't worry about it. Doesn't have to be made in the States. Look at this. Microtech makes this, but not in the States. This is made by Reich Knives in China, but it's an American company. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And what I wasn't really talking about are small designers such as myself who have knives made in the States under it. I'm talking about a little bit more of Spartan Alala by K-Bar in USA, I believe. Looks cool. I don't own it, says Derek. Okay, I'm not sure which one that is. I thought for a second you were saying Rick Lala, who's a Brazilian knife maker who makes some really cool stuff. Autumn Wind, nice to have you here, Autumn Wind. Hello, Bob. Hello, all. Autumn Wind, great to have you here, sir. 1931 Leatherworks nail test, like cutting a nail. That is an unfair test because it's all geometry. It's not all geometry, and he has proven this. So go check, subscribe to Peterbilt Knife Guy and check it out. So what he does is he's got the same block of aluminum as the base, and then he's got standard framing nails, I guess, or just household nails. And then he hammers the knife in there, but he's done stuff to the geometry to prove that it's not geometry, that it's heat treat and blade steel. And what did he do? He changed he did two different ones, like the same different knife, but changed the geometry of the grind or something. I can't remember exactly what he did, but and he kind of says this isn't science, but it's a pretty good test. And he'll have something like what did he have recently that had very thin geometry, and I was like very worried. Well, he'll have like say Spyderco VG10 Saber ground Endura, and does very well through the nail, but it's kind of like, well, that's Saber ground. It's kind of like a wedge. But then he's also had some that are really thin in D2 sail through, and he's also had like the cheap Walmart knives, the Swiss Techs. I shouldn't call them cheap Walmart knives, but the Swiss Techs have done really well. Like it's interesting. It's just check it out, see what you think. Help with Gadgets says, not a big Spyderco fan and have no experience with TKL, but I like the looks of TKL. Yeah. It's funny because I used to like, oh, these are weird looking knives. And once I got them in hand, I was like, these things are awesome. 1931 Leatherworks says, I mean, Artisan is a U.S.-based company produced in China. They're U.S.-based? I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, if you like Artisan and they are truly U.S.-based, you could put them, you could say that they're your favorite. But I'm thinking kind of the American companies. Like I had no idea Artisan was American, actually. Derek Ninehouse says, well, for a pricey knife, I just want to know a knife holds up. Nail test hard limit test. Although I'm normal, I just like to see reviews testing knife limits, structurally sound. Yes, I'm with you on that. I mean, so this was something I believe he did once because he was interested. And then people started sending him requests, do this, do that knife, do that knife. So he's turned it into a little, a thing. And it's pretty interesting thing. But yeah, it's for me, it's 100% unrealistic. I, definitely do not use my knives that hard. But say in a survival situation where you have to chop through a knife, I guess it's good to know. But I can't even imagine what that scenario is. But it's a good, it's a good way to standardize a test. It's just a nail, I don't know. I find it entertaining though. Sorry for picking my teeth on screen. Jeez, oh Pete. Will B, nice to see you, Will. I don't have any issues with their products, but their business practices in relation to other knife companies, one in particular. Wait, who are you talking about now? Who are you talking about? I'm not sure if you mentioned them before, and now I can't remember. So, Will B, please get back real quick and let me know what you're talking about. Gary Bucco, American, hey brother. American, hey brother. Did you happen to count on my Tops knife vote? Thanks for your consideration. No, but I think we've seen 2 Tops. So right now we're at 8 for Spyderco, 7 for TKL, 2 for Buck, 1 for CRK, 1 for Cold Steel, and 2 for Tops. I mean, I know we've gotten some others, but I'm going with preponderance here. Yeah, Jacob Green, nice to see you here, Jacob. Finally joined the CPM Magna cult. Tax return was generous, so I bought a Spyderco Native Chief Salt. Oh, it's very nice that the government decided to give you back some of your money. That fucking pisses me off. Excuse the French, but I mean, every tax season, I'm like, you sons of bitches. Like, you have your hands in my wallet before I even get it, and you take an ungodly amount. I can't believe the checks I write every year. And, I'm supposed to be grateful if I get a return. Thank you so much for. Oh, makes me so mad. Makes me so mad. Ron Dobbins says, remember, I was going to get the Chevron Yan in, what is that? Remember, I was going to get the Chevron Yan in full zircudi titanium scales. I just ordered it. Wait. What? I don't remember what the Chevron Yan is. Please remind me, Ron. I just I just cleared the memory bank thinking about taxes. Have a Knife Day says, I got a Buck 119 made in 1987 with a Sandbar stag handle. Oof. That's when it was still made in California. Oh, that's cool. And with Sandbar stag. It's beautiful. Sandbar, that's like Indian, right? It's made stags from India. James Hart says, yeah, I have 5 Buck knives that were made back in the 1980s. When Buck was using 425M steel. Never heard of that. Still sharp and in good shape to this day. So a 400 series steel, so 425M. Knife Addict, you've come to the right place, sir. It's good to have you here. Benchmade was always my favorite, but they need to figure out their pricing. So what's your favorite Benchmade? I keep always looking at the Adamas, why do I not have the Adamas yet? Miranda Wilmore, nice to have you here, Miranda. Hey, y'all, she says. Well, hello to you. Hey to you. And let us know what your favorite knife brand is. I think you carry a Victorinox, if I'm not mistaken. Mike Hauser says, confirmed, TKL. All right, so it's tied between TKL and Spyderco. Edgy American Blades, the only U.S. First of all, Edgy American, awesome to have you here. He is making an absolutely stunningly beautiful clip point blade that we will be giving away here at some point, and I cannot wait. It looks very cool. I might have to put myself in that drawing. Just kidding. Won't do it. Edgy American Blade says, the only U.S. knife company I know that has a satisfaction guarantee policy is American Blade Works, so they get my vote. And he's a cool dude, too. Very nice guy. One-man operation. One man and the family helps out his wife, but I'm with you. And I don't have it out here. I thought I was going to pull it out. I got, yeah. Derek Ninehouse says, add my vote to TKL. I love them. Plus, I'm heavily invested. Nice. All right. Now the balance is in TKL's favor. Dogo Argentino, EDC. Good to have you here, Dogo. Is it Dogo or Doggo? I'll say Doggo. It seems like it makes more sense. Cold Steel and Spyderco is my opinion. All right. So I'm going to put you down for one of each since we have both on the tally. And that evens it out between Spyderco and TKL. But I'm with you on that. I love both of them. But I don't think I can actually put my vote in for any single company here. Because I'm looking at everything here except for the Civivi and a Sencut are American companies. Not all made in America, but they're all American companies. Yes, sir. Yeah, pretty much. Doug Bull says, Bob, sorry I didn't get your tomahawk sent to you. Out of town all week. We'll send it tomorrow. Doug, thank you. I really appreciate it. But I mean, you don't have to apologize for not sending me a gift on time. I mean, that's just don't need to, but I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see it. It looks so cool. Doug has sent me a number of really cool blades. I keep this ski and do that he sent me on my desk. It's kind of a desk knife. Does a bit of letter opening and other stuff. And if someone comes in here, I will vanquish them. Uninvited for sure. But I don't wear a kilt and I don't have socks to keep this in. So thank you, Doug, for this, and of course my Forrest Bowie and my SOG Sidewinder and my Eck dagger. You've sent me some really cool stuff, man. I appreciate it. Paul Mills says, I vote Spyderco then. Oh, wow. Oh, well. James Moore, thank you for the vote. James Moore says, Bob, thanks for the answers. I'm leaving out custom makers as I perceive that's not your intention here. My vote is for Koenig knives. Oh, that's a good one. I would accept custom makers, but I think Koenig is probably better because more people are likely to say that than some more high-end custom maker. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Jacob Green says, my favorite American knife company is Leatherman. They warranted a Leatherman that was literally rusting away in the tackle box for over 15 years. Damn. That's pretty cool. Kel says, Clem, oh, man. All right, so in about 7 minutes, I'll reveal the winner before we dip out for the evening, and it's neck and neck. Now it's 10 on Spyderco, 10 on TKL, 2 on Tops, 2 on Cold Steel, 1 on Chris Reeve Knives, 3 on Buck, 1 on Koenig. And I know a couple of others have been mentioned, and I probably have not written it down, but the obvious answer is Cold Steel. It says Cold Steel Collector. Well, I would hope so. Cold Steel Collector, what do you think of this? Desperado. No, isn't there a Desperado song by the Eagles? Anyway, look at that thing. Oh, my God. I'm the proud owner of a Desperado. Great sheath, too, by the way. Not an easy blade shape to sheath, and they did an awesome job. Have a Knife Day says, I want to go to the Tops factory and do a factory tour. That would be cool. They all seem like cool dudes there, too. Paul Mills, edgy American blades. I caught some of your grinding earlier. I didn't really say much. Just watched you for your thing. That's cool. Yeah, Shane does lives of himself making knives. I think that's really cool. OG Blade Reviews. Old guys, bedtime. So dropping today's carry below. Oh, let's see it. Oh, wait. Let's see it. All right. Well, have a great night, Dave. And this old guy's about to go to bed in about 5 minutes. But thank you for coming, as always. And thank you for donating this to the channel. This is going to G Clem. Again, G Clem, if you're still with us, be sure to send me your email address at TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com so I can get this and your little swag pack sent out to you. Mark Salva, always a pleasure, Mark. Since it seems that we're talking American-based knife companies, I'd have to give the nod to Spyderco for their sheer variety. I like the pun. Sheer variety of steels, models, and excellent heat treats. All right, that's 11 for Spyderco. Ron Dobbins, hit that thumbs up, everyone. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. Costs you nothing. OG Blade Reviews says today's carry: Tenable Eagle Strike, Concept Crew, Hogtooth Nova 1, excellent choice. TCAL Agent 003, that's an awesome one. The Bastinelli Mako folder, the Kubey MOS by Alessandra De Santis, my Italian sister in knife design, even though she's never heard of me or met me. But she's Italian and she designs beautiful knives. And Nightcore EDC 23. Awesome. I love the Bastinelli Mako also. Jesse, evening all. Jesse, evening to you, sir. Glad you showed up. Ron Dobbins says, today I carried the Microtech Annex Integral and James Brand Chapter 2 titanium scales and Chavez Prybar G-Shock watch. Oh, Chavez Prybar and G-Shock watch. Awesome. Have you ever seen Everyday City Carries G-Shock collection? This seems pretty comprehensive. James Hart says, yes, Cult of Athena. I still go there. Well, James, sword guy. Yeah. I see why. Cody Broadway says, my favorite company is A.G. Russell Knives. A.G. laid the groundwork for all we have today. Yes, no doubt about that. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door, and also great catalog. I love thumbing through that catalog. And Angry Tom's Hat Next Door says, today I have my Rough Rider Pandora Swirl Deer Slayer slip joint 4-inch blade. Nice. Pretty sweet. I love big slip joints like that. Jerry C, hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you, Jerry C. We're doing great. Todd Carr, Leatherman Surge and Accessories, SOG Power Pint, Swiss Army Knife Fieldmaster Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter, love that knife, Pickled Steel Warthog, QSP Parrot 5th Pocket, very nice, Northern Knives Hemlock S125V, nice. Northern Knives, good job, man. Deep Cut Olight I3T Arkfeld UV Rovivon A3. Very nice, Todd Carr. I like that you have a Northern Knives knife. Loser says those wood scales on the 4MAX make it look so much better. Yes, I'm totally smitten with these things. James Hart, in my right pocket was my Raja 2 XL, and around my neck on a lanyard and hanging under my left arm, my brand new Safe Maker push dagger. Yes, the bug bit me again. That's a good bug. In the pocket today was the Spyderco Carahawk. Oh, that's a sweet one. That's that sweet karambit. Todd Carr, sorry, Northern Knife Works. Okay, still awesome in S125V. Hussein Al-Ahmed says 1, cold steel, 2, tops, 3, SOG, 4, buck, 5, Gerber, 6, SE, 7, K-Bar Becker, 8, Winkler, 9, Wooks. I'm unfamiliar with Wooks. 10, Benchmade, 11, Bark River, 12, Spartan Blades, 13, CRKT, 14, Schrade, and 15, Hogue. Man, nice. That's a great list. I do notice Spyderco's not on it, but hey, it doesn't have to be. That's a great list. Mark Salva, I've been waiting for almost 4 months for my first TCAL, the 007. I'm dying. I'm longing. Even went for the trainer. Oh, sweet. Hey, have patience. It's so well worth the patience. Ira, that 4MAX looks sizable. And to think I have a 5MAX coming. Yeah, I've opted out of the 5MAX. I mean, it's not a permanent opting out, but I just haven't gone for it yet. Adrian Fighter 35. Those 4MAX Scout scales look so good. Check out Alien Scales, guys. Today, all I needed was my Raja 2, and I did it all. And I did all I needed to do. All right, gotcha. All right, Seth Lang says, can't settle on any singular company, probably have more Spideys, but have a hard time putting down my Ferrum Forge Sting, Monterey-based Slayback, and ZT0450. I have mine up. I love that thing. And Pena Lanny's Clip. All great designs. All right, guys. I think that's me. Loser, what's the steel on the Sidekick? 14C28N. Thomas Moldenhauer. Good to have you here, Thomas. What's wrong with Montana Knife Company? I don't know. I wanted to hear what the thought was. I don't know what the problem is. That's what I was asking. I wanted a little tea, as the kids say. That Jack Wolf is very nice. It is awesome. I highly recommend that Jack Wolf, the Diamondback. Knives and pizza, my two favorite things. Knife Junkie, do you still have the Spartan Harsey dagger? Right here, sir. It's so awesome. I do, and I highly recommend it. That's how you do a snap cut with a dagger. You get a little triangular cut. Jacob Green says, my main carry today was recently acquired Spyderco Native Chief and CPM Magna Cult. I finally understand the obsession with the steel. All right, guys, since we're at the end of the train here, I want to read off the final results here. Scott, American made. I'm rocking Tops, X, Spyderco, Bussy, and American Tomahawk. Not a knife, but hey, yeah, and they're owned by RMJ and they make knives. So, all right, so Spyderco got 11 favorites. T-Kel got 10. Buck got 3. Cold Steel got 3, maybe more. Tops got 2. Koenig got 1. And I know there are others in there, but I really was going for the ones that I heard the most of, and that was Spyderco at 11 and T-Kel at 10. So I'm going to have to spread the word to Tim and let him know that he was in the run-in with Spyderco as best American knife company. All right, guys. Randall knives are right up there with, yeah, as is Emerson. I'm with you. I love them both and have them both on the table. All right. This is me, and I'm closing, and I will show you my Randall as I do. All right, guys, be sure to join us on Sunday for episode 583 of the Knife Junkie podcast with Sean Old of Gross Motor Gear. It's a great interview. He's the guy who makes the Mamushi and several other really, really awesome handmade defensive blades. And I love this Mamushi Pikal. And he's a very cool guy, very knowledgeable. Definitely check that one out. So that is 583 on Sunday around noonish. It will drop. So check it out then. Woo! All right. For Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.